Ms. Browne, you stand before the court with your mother, Alicia Browne. You say your world was recently turned upside down when you were contacted by a man whom you've never even heard of before, claiming to be your birth father. Now that man, Mr. Hampton, is waiting in our courtroom hallway, and he will join us in a moment. Now he claims he has evidence to prove he is in fact your biological father. Now, what happened when you were first contacted by Mr. Hampton? How did you even hear from him?
Well, first and foremost, I am adopted. I was adopted when I was 3 months old, so I have no idea who my extended family is or my biological mother. I was recently contacted by someone claiming to be my sister on what's called Instagram. And from there, he messaged me on Facebook. And he said, "Kayla, I think I finally found your Facebook. Please let me know. I have no idea how much you or your adoption parents know about how things were, but I'll be more than willing to answer your questions that they may have, and I have pictures also. Talk to you later." As if he already knew.
Wow. And so what were you thinking when you read that?
Who are you?
So you've never met this man?
No.
Never heard of him?
Nope.
And next thing you know, he's on your Facebook saying, "I'm your birth father."
Yeah, he's not my dad.
Wow. Well, Jerome, I think it's time we meet Mr. Hampton. What a story.
Hello, Mr. Hampton.
Hello, Mr. Hampton. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Your Honor.
Thank you for being here. So we just heard an amazing story from Ms. Browne.
I've been looking for my daughter for 20 years, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was in love with her mother, Your Honor, and
You all were in a relationship?
yes, we were in a relationship, Your Honor, and she was pregnant, Your Honor. This was my first child. I'm the one that gave her name, Your Honor. I did everything that I...
So you were participating in this pregnancy and in the birth?
You know, I moved to Alaska to be with her mother while she was pregnant. And I was there at the hospital when she was born.
I'm confused. If you did all that stuff, I don't know why I'm here with my mom today and not with you. I don't get it. To be honest. I'm just being honest.
Your mother was going through some problems. I had the opportunity to take you when I met her at the mall. I didn't know whether she wanted me to take you permanently. I couldn't take you at the time. I had to go back to Seattle. I cried every minute on the plane.
Do you have any proof of this?
This is it, Your Honor. This is the toys that I first bought her before they left, Your Honor.
Jerome, hand me the evidence, please. Thank you. So this is a picture of the person you say is Ms. Browne's birth mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
And she's pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I've kept this photo for years, Your Honor, because I knew someday that I would find her, Your Honor.
And who's in this photo, Mr. Hampton?
That's me. That's my daughter here, and that's her mother, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Browne, what are you thinking as you see these photos?
Look at that baby. That could be you or you. It's just, there's nothing that distinguishingly says it's me. Maybe if I had that wrap that was around that baby, maybe if I had something.
So when you look at these pictures, you don't feel a connection because in your mind you're saying, there's nothing identifiable that says it's me.
Yeah, nothing.
This is my daughter in those pictures. That's my daughter in those pictures, Your Honor.
Okay, and listen, that may be true that in the picture, the baby you're holding is your daughter. But why are you so sure that it is Ms. Browne?
I knew her birth date, and I knew the situation surrounding it.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So the exact date of Ms. Browne's birth is the exact date of your Kayla's birth.
Exactly, Your Honor.
And you named this baby Kayla.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Okay, when's the last time you saw her? Before today, if this is in fact your daughter.
I haven't seen her since she was about 2 weeks old, Your Honor.
About 2 weeks old.
2 weeks old, Your Honor.
In your statement to the court, you said you have a picture of her at 2 years old. How did you get that picture?
Your Honor, when I went back to Alaska, Your Honor, I came across her mother, Your Honor, and her birth mother gave this picture to
Jerome,
me,
let me
Your
see
Honor.
this picture. Her birth mother, so you went back to Washington, then you came back to Alaska, and her birth mother gave you this picture.
Yes, Your Honor. And I still have that, I've kept that photo on my wall for the last 20 years, Your Honor.
This picture.
I've kept that photo on my
and
wall.
she's 2 years old.
And she's 2 years old, Your Honor.
So this is a picture of, wow. So this picture of the young baby girl that you say is your daughter, Kayla, has been up on the wall in your home.
Exactly, Your Honor.
I don't know if that's true.
Ms. Browne, is this a picture of you?
She's
I
got
think
the
it
eyes,
looks
Your
like
Honor.
me. Yeah. It has a little devious smile that I had.
This is amazing. Have you ever seen this picture?
No.
It looks like you to me. It looks like your eyebrows. And look, I don't know the results of the test either. So I am here inside this mystery with you. And I want to figure it out for you.
I know that it's my daughter, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
Your Honor, I contacted social services, Your Honor, and I told them that I didn't want my daughter to be adopted. They told me that I needed to get a paternity test, Your Honor.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
But she's still my daughter, Your Honor.
That's a long time to go without seeing your child you love so much.
I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you for 20 years. I've searched everywhere.
I want to hear from your adoptive mother. Ms. Browne, please stand. And first ask you, have you ever seen this picture of your daughter?
Yes, I have.
You have.
I have, and I'm curious to know how her biological mother got that picture.
Oh, okay, wait. So you know this to be your daughter,
Yes, that's my daughter.
but
I never gave that picture to anybody, and I don't know where. We've had Kayla since she was 3 months old.
so when you adopted her, did you have any information given to you about a father?
There's no one listed as a father on
What are you reading?
her adoption papers.
May I see that, please?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I got child support papers right here, Your Honor. The state of Alaska was collecting child support from me for her.
Wait a minute. Oh,
So they
hold
knew
that
that I
piece
was
of
her
evidence.
father.
Let me just see this first.
I took this child several different times, at least for sure 3 times, if not 4 times, in for blood tests,
Okay.
and watched them draw blood from her to try to determine who her father was. And they never could determine who the father was.
So
they kept listing different men. Okay, now we think this is the father. Can you please bring her in for another test? And I'd take her in, and then, at
But
this
they never
time,
came to me.
I understand your emotion. The thought of being a mother and bringing your baby in to have blood drawn to try to figure out who their father is, I know that was really tough. And yet you're telling me 3 or 4 men were tested,
Yes.
and every test.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have been able to legally adopt her. We had her from the time she was 3 weeks old. She came to us. Normally, we're foster parents, and I normally wouldn't take an infant in because I knew I'd be attached to them. Mm-hmm. But it was supposed to be just a weekend. Then it turned into a week, and then I'm like, oh God, please,
Don't take her.
don't take her from us. And we went on for 2 years of trying to determine who, because legally they could not.
That
so
can't be
hold
true.
on, I just want to be clear. Out of the 3 to 4 times that you took your baby Kayla, Ms. Browne, in to be tested so they could try to establish paternity,
Yes.
never once was Mr. Hampton tested.
I've
You don't
never
remember
heard-
him being.
I've never heard his name
Never
in
heard
my
his name.
life.
Now I want to confirm from you, Mr. Hampton, were you ever tested in the past? Were you ever contacted as a potential biological father for this baby to be tested?
No, ma'am, no, I wasn't. They had me paying child support, Your Honor.
Let me see that paperwork.
They knew.
That doesn't make sense.
You were paying child support.
That's what
Don't they
had
have
me
to
doing here.
determine paternity to be able to make you pay child support?
They know.
Yeah, you do have to have a paternity affidavit.
Well, then they must have proved that I was your father then. There couldn't have been another man, no other man
I wouldn't have been able to adopt
All
Kayla
right, so
if they.
here on this page it says, the paperwork you completed states that there is an order for child support in Alaska and that the order names you as the father.
Is my name on there?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I mean, my
So
mom,
listen.
my biological mom I have biological siblings that are literally consecutive years under me.
Yes.
There is no other man, Your Honor. We were together every day. I've celebrated her birthday every single year, Your Honor. I've always put her name on the cakes, Your Honor, because, Your Honor, I didn't.
Jerome, let me
I
have-
didn't forget about her, Your Honor.
Every year you put her name on a birthday cake.
That's right, Your Honor. Because I wanted to show her, because I knew someday that I would find her, and I wanted to show her that I've been looking for her, Your Honor.
And do you have any paperwork to prove that you were reaching out to social service?
Your Honor, I've gave you the letter from Social Services, Your Honor.
Department of Health and Social Services.
I've reached
In
out,
May
Your Honor.
1994, dear Mr. Hampton, 2 phone messages from you. And I don't have a number to contact you. Please be advised that you need to establish paternity of Kayla King, and we can discuss reunification.
Exactly, Your Honor, and that's what I did, Your Honor. But when I tried to do that, they wanted her mother, Your Honor, to take part in this, Your Honor. I didn't know where her mother was.
How did you not have contact if she gave you a picture of her at 2?
And look, Mr. Hampton, can you not understand their doubt? They've never heard of you.
Your Honor, they knew, Your Honor.
We've
Do
never
you
heard of
understand
I've
the
never
doubt?
heard your name in my life.
I have this birth certificate, and my parents are on it. I don't see your name on it. I don't know.
Those are your adoptive parents that
Yes.
are on that birth certificate.
Which are my parents. They are my
Exactly.
parents.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, my name is on her original birth certificate, Your Honor. They had me paying child support for her. I was there. I'm the one that gave you your name.
Where were you through all these months that Kayla was with us as a foster child and they were trying to find out who the father was?
Do you feel like Mr. Hampton is her biological father?
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like you are, but you didn't take me when she asked you, you know? I don't care for how long. It does, you know. Even if you couldn't, I look at my son. I would do anything.
I had no place. I had no place.
It doesn't matter. Live in a car, you know. Go to a shelter. There's so many resources.
Let me just say this. This has got to be the most incredible mystery that we've ever heard in this courtroom. Jerome, right? But the only way we're going to be able to move forward is to get the results.
That would be nice. That'd be really nice.
Your Honor.
Jerome, the envelope? Yes, sir. Would you like to say one more thing before we get to the results?
I've gone through a lot the last 20 years, Your Honor. This is my life, Your Honor. I've made some bad choices, Your Honor, but I've never run from any of my children, Your Honor. I've ran to them, Your Honor, and that's why I'm here today, right here in court, because everything that she has felt all of her life, Your Honor, I felt the same thing, Your Honor. I felt all the hurt, everything, Your Honor.
I see your heart is breaking. I really do. I can see the emotion written all over your face.
I'm glad that her adoptive parents were able to take her, Your Honor. I worried about her all the time, Your Honor.
She's had a good home.
And I've had a great home.
I owe that to your adoptive parents for having you.
Well, are we ready for the results? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. If anyone would like to take a seat, they can. In the case of Browne v. Hampton, pertaining to 20-year-old Kayla Browne, Mr. Hampton, you have desperately waited for this answer. You. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Browne v. Hampton, pertaining to 20-year-old Kayla Browne, Mr. Hampton, you have desperately waited for this answer. You are not her father.
That can't be right, Your Honor.
But that is me in the picture.
I don't know what's going on here, Your Honor.
This is where paternity secrets destroy our lives and our perceptions and what we believe to be true, because it may, in fact, and it unfortunately, obviously is true, that her biological mother was involved with someone else besides you during that time.
I wanted to bring some closure to myself, Your Honor. This had to be done, Your Honor. It had to be done, and I'm sorry that things didn't work out.
Don't be sorry. It's okay. I'm good. I'm fine.
And ultimately, Ms. Browne, Kayla, that's what we want to know, that you're okay.
And
that's
the
what he
main
wanted
thing.
to know.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Ms. Hannon, you grew up believing one man was your father until the age of 13 when he said, "I am not your daddy."
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother then told you on her deathbed that another man, the defendant, David Dorsey, is your biological father. You are here to prove paternity and gain closure, and you have never spoken to or laid eyes on Mr. Dorsey, but will meet him for the very first time today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Hannon, you initially believed another man was your father.
Yes, ma'am.
Please explain to the court.
Well, I believe David Dorsey is my biological father, but I grew up with my grandparents and my mom. Like you said, I was known for a man named Kimball to be my dad. I called him one day for the daddy-daughter dance, and instead of his response being, "Yes, I'll be there," it was, "Your mother's still lying to you. I'm not your dad. You need to go find your real dad."
How cruel. I know that had to be hard.
Yeah, I mean,
At what point did your mother tell you about David Dorsey?
my mom, we would have our heart-to-hearts, when she got sick, because she was sick my whole entire life. She would be talking about Kimball, she would talk about David, and on her deathbed, she told me, "I thought I picked the right one for you, but David's your father." And
So just before your mother passed, she says to you, "I thought I picked the right one for you, but David Dorsey is really your biological father."
yes, ma'am.
Wow.
After my mom's passing, I moved away. My grandmother got sick, so I came back. I was actually at work, walking down the hall, and she was calling me Melanie, walking down the hall. "Melanie, do you hear me talking to you?" She got all the way close, and I'm like, "Ma'am, that's not my name. Melanie, but you're talking about Melanie Dorsey, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "I heard it in high school. I look just like a girl. I need to meet her. It's my sister. We need to find out." And the friend that said it, he approached my mom, like, "Hey, does she have sisters?" She's like, "No. She's an only child. She doesn't have sisters," and shut him down about it. And I just left it alone.
But to this day, you have never met, laid eyes on David Dorsey.
Nope, not him.
Are you ready to meet the man you believe, you've been told, is your true biological father?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jerome, please escort Mr. Dorsey in the courtroom, please.
On the left side there.
Mr. Dorsey,
How you doing? Thank you for joining us today. This young woman has waited many, many years to meet you. She's been told that you are her biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
You walk through the doors, you walk right past her, no hug. You didn't even really look at her, acknowledge her.
I acknowledged her. I looked at her.
You don't believe you're her biological father?
Not really. No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I don't remember her mother at all.
You don't remember her mother?
I don't know her mother.
You don't know her mother?
No.
So you are standing here at the defendant's podium in this courtroom today saying you know you cannot be Miss Hannon's biological father because you have never met her mother.
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
You don't know her.
No, I don't.
Miss Hannon, do you have a picture of your mother with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Show that picture to Mr. Dorsey. Do you remember that woman?
No, ma'am.
Miss Hannon, what have you been told about your mother's relationship with Mr. Dorsey?
From our conversations that we used to have, is like they talked, like they weren't in a relationship, I guess. Like they talked here and there. I knew that he worked at a fast food restaurant. He was a manager at a fast food restaurant from her, and like I said, they just, I guess, you know, talked, mingled here and there. Type
Mr.
word
Dorsey,
goes.
were you a manager at a fast food restaurant?
No, ma'am, but I worked at a fast food restaurant.
You worked at one.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Hannon, you brought a witness with you.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe it's your godmother.
Yes, ma'am.
Please stand, ma'am, and state your name for the court, please.
My name is Cassandra Alexander, and I am Fallon's godmother, and I was a very good friend of Fallon's mother, Veronica Hannon.
And what information can you provide today?
Well, Your Honor, me and Fallon's mother, Veronica, we worked together, and Mr. Dorsey, I have seen him come to the job to bring her mom lunch. Her mom would talk about her baby daddy being David. He still looks the same, but he had just got a little heavier.
Your Honor.
You don't remember any
Your
of this?
Honor, I've never had sex with this woman.
You worked at the fast food restaurant, though.
Yes, ma'am.
What else do you remember, Ms. Alexander? This is bizarre.
Well, me and Fallon was out one night, and so then she said, "Godmom, I gotta ask you something." And she said, and I said, "What is it, Fallon?" And she said, "Do you know David Watkins?" I said, "That's your dad."
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
Because I remember her mom talking about a David. That's your dad.
Oh, wait,
But it
this
was
is David
Watkins.
Dorsey. You said David Watkins.
It was a David
My name
Watkins.
used to be David Watkins. I was adopted, and he changed my name to Watkins, and then when I got grown, I changed my name back to my dad's name.
So now it's getting even more closely connected to you.
I mean, I was well known in the North End. I mean, everybody knew my name.
So what are you thinking? You thinking this woman just made this up?
Your Honor, I don't know this woman.
But it's such a coincidence that Miss Hannon has been called your daughter's name.
Yeah.
And,
She resembles my daughter.
oh, you admit she resembles your daughter.
When she was younger, yes.
Her godmother remembers you. She remembers where you work. She remembers the woman talking about you and saying it was David Dorsey or David Watkins.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know her mother.
All right, I think we need to hear from your daughter. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Dorsey's daughter into the courtroom?
Yes. What's your step going up the stairs?
I love you too.
Ms. Dorsey, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You know we are here discussing the paternity as it relates to Ms. Hannon.
Yes. I'm here to claim my sister. That's my sister. You know, I don't mean to disrespect my dad, but my dad was a Rolling Stone, okay? So he was the man, and like, he was very known on the North Side for being David Watkins, you know, the slayer of women, you know? So,
slayer of women. Okay.
At a wedding, a cousin of mine kept following me, and she's like, you know, there's this girl that looks like you. She looks so much like you, and can you please just get in contact with this girl, please, because you look so much like her, you know? So I went onto Facebook, you know, and I looked up her name, and when I seen her face, I was like, if that's not me, maybe about a good 50 pounds ago, I mean, when the first time I told my father, he was not in the state, you know, he was fighting his own demons at the time to even really want to, he's like, I don't know her. It was just so blatant, nope, don't know her, never seen her. I don't know her. And I'm like, well, Dad, you know, you had the little party days, because you not remember? And I know who I was with, I don't know her. So I said, okay, that's my sister. Like I said, I'm just here for my dad to get clarification on his own, but that is my sister.
So you feel like you have no doubts?
No doubts.
Ms. Hannon, listening to the testimony of Ms. Dorsey and also of Mr. Dorsey, have your feelings changed? Do you have doubt? Are you still confused? What do you feel?
I still feel like she's my sister because we look so much alike. I just want to know for sure, because I don't know.
You don't
know? Like if he is my dad, and I really hope he is, I have sisters, I have brothers, I have nieces. If he's not, it's just me and my 3 kids. So, I love you.
Okay, stop, just don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay, because like I told you before, you are my sister, period.
Ms. Hannon, as you listen to Mr. Dorsey consistently say, I don't even know this woman, I've never even met her, and yet you see this uncanny resemblance to Melody, does it make you feel torn, confused, or in your heart you do believe that is your father and this is your sister?
It makes me feel torn because he says he doesn't remember, but who all remembers every white night stand they had when they was a kid? So I can't fault him for saying he don't remember.
Because you were told that it was a fling.
Yeah.
And so maybe
he don't remember that fling.
He just
it wasn't
doesn't
the best
remember
fling.
that.
Like, it just might have not been the best for him. He didn't remember it.
I'm sorry. I don't remember having sex with your mom. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
And so you both submitted childhood photos to the court.
Yeah.
And I'd like to look at those. When you look at it, do you see a resemblance?
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Dorsey?
I see a resemblance.
You do?
Yes, I do.
What was it that made you want to come today? I mean, if you've never met this woman and you have never had sex with her and you don't know what is going on, why did you come?
I want closure for Fallon.
And I see that makes you emotional when you talk about her. Why is that?
I feel sorry for her.
Is there any part of you that says, if she is my daughter, if it was an encounter I just don't remember, I've missed out on 30 years of this woman's life, this young woman, this beautiful, smart young woman, I've missed out on her life?
Yeah, I feel, I'm torn that way too, though. I feel one kind of way, but then I feel bad if I missed out on her life, if I am her father.
This is fascinating. I think we need to go to the results now because I feel like, truly, Mr. Dorsey, I can't get much testimony out of you because you honestly don't remember.
No, I don't.
And I see the beautiful bond you, Ms. Dorsey, and Ms. Hannon have formed as sisters, you believing and accepting and loving her as a sister. Have you prepared yourselves? Have you said to yourself, where do we go from here?
That's my sister. I don't know about her mother's infidelities or what she did or anything like that. Only thing I know is that Fallon is my sister. That's all I know. That's all I care about.
And I think it's important to note that Ms. Hannon is standing there because she does want to know where she came from. And for those of us who do know who our father is, and we've had that all of our lives, we know we can never take for granted that there are young women, beautiful young women and men all over this country, all over the world, that don't have that answer and have to live with that every day. And I have felt your pain today, Miss Hannon. Your tears. I see you. And I know this has been difficult.
Yeah.
Because your mother's no longer here.
Yep.
With that said, I think it's time for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Hannon versus Dorsey, when it comes to 30-year-old Fallon Hannon, it has been determined by this court Mr. Dorsey, you are not the father.
Sorry, no, don't be sorry. You are my sister. Fallon, that doesn't matter to me. It matters to me.
No, I'm not your daughter-in-law. Can you still just be my dad?
Yes. Yes.
And I can be your sister.
Just got yourself another daughter.
Yeah. You ain't got no choice.
Number 3.
It has been determined by this court. Okay?